Weight loss, changing personas, and a brand new jaw? Ready for a dose of nostalgia? These stars look nothing like they used to. Jonah Hill's early career flourished in the comedy genre, but by 2013, he hit the sweet spot with a fine balance of humorous and serious films. On the one hand, he starred in the ensemble comedy This Is the End with a cohort of Hollywood funnymen, and on the other, he made a cinematic splash alongside Leonardo DiCaprio in the critically acclaimed The Wolf of Wall Street. The latter earned him an Oscar nomination, testifying to his diversified acting chops. Over the next decade, Hill seemingly tried to stay true to his claim, branching out into different kinds of films, from the biographical drama War Dogs to the rom-com You People. Not just his acting journey, Hill's appearance also drastically transformed over the decade. The actor, who has long been the target of fat jokes and body shaming, dropped several pounds with consistent effort through the years. He shared once on Instagram, "I don't think I ever took my shirt off in a pool until I was in my mid-30s, even in front of family and friends." Though his weight remained a subject of hot discussion, Hill rarely gave the topic any airtime in interviews and media interactions, asking people to refrain from talking about his body. A decade ago, Khloe Kardashian was in the midst of restoring her identity following her split from her husband of 4 years, LA Lakers champ Lamar Odom. TMZ reported that the youngest of the Kardashian sisters initiated the divorce, refused spousal support, and removed her ex's name from hers. Khloe's reality television stint, her launchpad to stardom, was still continuing with continuing appearances on Keeping Up with the Kardashians, as well as spin-offs like Kourtney and Khloe Take the Hamptons. This was also around the time when Kardashian worked on her physique and brought her weight down by 40 pounds. In 2016, she told Harper's Bazaar about the fashion industry's skewed standards for women's sizes. "There would always be this attention on Kourtney and Kim, but I was too much work for stylists or they had nothing in my size."
First of all, I'm incredibly athletic, so you.
Khloe, you specialize in wearing heels. That's not a sport.
Fast forward 10 years later, she couldn't look more Kardashian with her cinched waist, high cheekbones, and sharp jawline. Though Kardashian's transformation had been several years in the making, she exhibited her changed form to the world most dramatically at the Met Gala 2022, where she showed up in a figure-hugging golden gown. Though her absence from Met Gala 2023 was widely noted, Instagram remains a steady outlet for her to flaunt her killer abs and changing styles. 1 decade ago, Seth Rogen was on a roll. He waded into film direction with the 2013 multi-starring apocalypse comedy This Is the End, winning much praise for his debut. His second co-directorial effort, on the other hand, ruffled quite a few feathers. North Korea was not pleased by Rogen's portrayal of the country in the interview and issued a threat against the United States, with the incident also prompting a hack at Sony Pictures.
It's bad to be blamed for almost starting a war. It's not fun.
In recent years, Rogen has been involved in a surprising new pursuit, pottery. He often takes to Instagram to showcase his passion, along with his changing physical appearance. He dropped several pounds and at one point in 2021, shaved off his trademark scraggly beard and curly hair to post an unrecognizable look of himself on Instagram. The transformation of Miley Cyrus has perhaps been one of the most noticeable evolutions in the music industry in the last decade. By 2013, she had shed her teen pop image and graduated to a risque version of herself that was radically divergent from her Miley days at Disney. After Bangers, which prominently featured the song Wrecking Ball, the world reckoned with Cyrus's adult sensibilities. Scant outfits, cropped hair, and naughty moves became Cyrus's trademarks. She reveled in it, telling Elle, "When I do things that would get someone old to shake their head, my fans go ape, and I'm honored to be that girl that gets people out of their comfort zone." A string of reinventions followed. Cyrus walked the balance between rocking it out on stage with some rather extravagant personas and allocating enough time for philanthropic efforts. The Hannah Montana alum also dealt with the negative side of the press as unwavering coverage about her long-term relationship with ex-husband Liam Hemsworth continued to dominate headlines. Fan attention reached dizzying heights when Cyrus released her modern chart-smashing magnum opus Flowers, which is widely believed to contain references to Hemsworth. For Zac Efron, life seems to have turned around for the better since 2013. The former Disney star was then emerging from the throes of substance addiction with the help of rehab. He opened up to The Hollywood Reporter nearly a year after going sober, saying, "I was drinking a lot, way too much. I mean, you're in your 20s, single, going through life in Hollywood, you know? Everything is thrown at you." That said, 2013 wasn't the easiest year for Efron for other reasons too, one of them being a near-death experience he faced. The actor apparently took a major fall near his home that year, leading to a severely wounded jaw that demanded serious medical attention.
No, it was funny. It sucked. I almost died, but we're good.
Rumors that he'd gotten plastic surgery didn't deter Efron from reinventing himself as a noteworthy big-screen star with well-received films like Neighbors and The Greatest Showman. With his constant body transformations for his roles, it's safe to say that Efron looks a whole lot different than his post-High School Musical days. There has always been an easy charm and relatability to Rebel Wilson that has kept the actor at the top of her game for years. Be it the series of comedies she did around the 2010s, or her beloved Fat Amy character from the Pitch Perfect franchise, Wilson navigated the fast lanes of Hollywood with the confident self-reliance that audiences so love. And Wilson has always remained unabashed about her choices to center much of her comedy around her weight. She told Cosmopolitan in 2013, "As long as I look like this, I'm going to make fat jokes." Nearly a decade after those remarks, Wilson underwent a significant transformation that involved dropping about 80 pounds. A change, she said, that occurred in pursuit of a milestone decision concerning fertility. She told People, "It wasn't a goal to get to a certain weight, it was just being the healthiest version of myself." She began her health journey in 2020, and her subsequent appearances on the red carpet prompted dramatic reactions from fans of the star. Even her own team initially pushed back on her decision.
And they were like, "Why? Why would you want to do that?" Because I was earning millions of dollars being, the funny fat girl.
Though she confessed to being treated differently by people after losing weight, Wilson seems to love herself just the same and is ever the champion of body positivity as she always was. Her mantra is to celebrate all body types with a focus on health. Any acknowledgement of celebrity transformations is incomplete without a mention of Kylie Jenner. A decade ago, she was a teenager clutching the fringes of reality TV fame that belonged to her older siblings in the Kardashian-Jenner clan. Keeping Up with the Kardashians and its many spin-offs had given Jenner's public life a kickstart, and to see her on red carpets, modeling shoots, and magazine covers was no biggie by the time she was a teen.
I feel like when you're in front of the cameras, it's almost, you're more cautious about everything and there's not a lot of room for mistakes.
Mm-hmm. In a span of 10 years, Jenner has managed to attain unthinkable heights of popularity, wealth, and excess by establishing herself as a beauty mogul heading a billion-dollar empire. Beyond her social and financial status, Jenner's appearance has transformed over the decade too. Her lips are fuller, her curves are quintessentially Kardashian, and her makeup is somehow never out of place. From her days as a Disney teen queen to appearing in Oscar-winning films, Zendaya's career has taken quite an upward leap in the last decade. Her initial fame launched her as a regular on youth pop circuits with productions like Shake It Up and Frenemies, in addition to her music singles, bringing her to public notice in a big way. But bigger things lay in wait for the actor and singer. In 2017, the then 21-year-old Zendaya scored a place among the lead cast of Marvel's star-studded feature Spider-Man: Homecoming, playing MJ alongside Tom Holland. Playing in the big league and enjoying greater social stature also had an evident effect on the way Zendaya's public image was perceived by audiences. She was no longer the girl with the toothy sweetheart smile. Zendaya, the film star, knew how to enchant the camera with a single look. 10 years ago, Kristen Stewart was still basking in the conflicted glory of her Bella Swan alter ego. The Twilight series was her launchpad to stardom, but you didn't have to look too hard to see some awkwardness in how she dealt with all the attention she got for the role.
I knew that the fan base was big for the book. There was no way of preparing for the response that it had.
For Stewart, who has faced the camera since childhood, an image revamp involved more than just a change in the kind of films she opted to do. In her post-Twilight years, Stewart dove into the indie film scene, starring in a string of moderately received titles until she hit pay dirt with Seberg and Spencer. The latter won Stewart her first Oscar nomination. At the same time, she established herself as a queer icon, notably questioning the gendered legacy of red carpet rules of dressing. By 2018, she was kicking off her heels on the Cannes red carpet, while sharp pantsuits became a wardrobe staple. Stewart's reformation has been perfectly complemented by her ever-changing hair that switches between cut, color, and chop with abandon. Bella Swan could never! As he progressed with age, Zayn Malik went from being an effusive pop heartthrob to a bearded, tatted hunk. His new appearance, subject to constant changes, especially experiments with the abundant crop on his head, is consistent with the prototype of the bad boy charm he years ago claimed to possess. He told 17 when he was still one-fifth of the boy band One Direction, "I'm a bit of a bad boy. I have tattoos and I mess around. That's part of my image, so it's cool." Since leaving the band that launched him to stardom, Malik's physical maturity ran parallel to the maturing of his music. His solo ventures are defined by tunes that are heavier, more soulful, and definitely more sensuous than his teeny bopper catering music from back in the day. Aside from his signature changing hairstyles, Malik has also embraced more permanent changes in his life. In 2020, he became a father with the birth of his first child with Gigi Hadid. However, controversies surrounding the singer peaked a year into fatherhood. He was involved in a highly publicized breakup with Hadid amid claims of an alleged physical altercation he had with her mother, Yolanda Hadid. Adele had already touched hysterical heights of fame a decade ago. With her string of chart-topping hits like Skyfall and Rolling in the Deep, her mezzo-soprano pitch had won over critics at the Grammys, Oscars, and Golden Globes, as well as amassed a global army of devotees, all by 2013. She even managed to squeeze in a break between her consistently thriving career, only to return with new musical records and newer sensations like Hello. Adele also transformed physically, surprising fans with a slim silhouette in a birthday picture from 2020 that went viral. The process of losing about 100 pounds was driven by her anxiety. She told British Vogue, "Working out, I would just feel better. It was never about losing weight. It was about becoming strong and giving myself as much time every day without my phone."